Alright guys, it's been a little while since my last video. I rattle canned some white on there because I really wanted to see what it would look like. That's what the colors originally. Of course the roof has to be white too from this point up, so that'll look good. And then of course the bed and the other side. Now what I'm gonna do is, oh yeah, I also put the bottom trim on. This piece right here is missing the wood grain decal. I think LMC sells a roll of the wood grain. I don't know, that'll probably be later on down the road. Not worried about it right now. Like to get the thing running first before I worry about paint. But what I'm going to do now is paint the dash yellow so that I can move on and mount gauges and stuff and put my radio back in. Alright guys, I painted the grill insert back to like an original looking color, silver, and I painted the bumper because it's pretty rough. I just painted it silver for now, and then when I find a nice chrome one I'll swap it out, but this will get me by for now and it looks better than it was. Glove box painted, dash painted, first coat. And when I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm gonna run my transmission cooler line. So I got some 5/16 line here. Alright, I got one done. Goes around there, through there, along the frame rail to the transmission. Now I'll work on the other one. I got just enough line left. I haven't had a whole lot of time lately. Had to go for an interview and there was a math test, and I did a lot of studying prior to the test and actually did pretty well. I got like an 85 on it, so looks promising. Get some time today to work on this. Been putting the front sheet metal together. Put the bumper on, grill in there, signal lights, working on the headlights, got that one on. This bezel here, two of the little tabs that hold it on are broken off, so I gotta tack them on. I have one of them somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. There's one of them right there. I'll just make another one because the other one, I lost the other one. There's supposed to be 3 altogether. Obviously it's been JB welded before by me when I first got the truck. That was before I did any kind of welding or anything. So I'll grind off that JB weld and I'll tack that on and make one for that third one. I'll be able to get that on. Starting to look like a truck again. The hood won't go on for a while though. I got that over in the shed over there. That's probably not going to go on until I get my fuel system and exhaust, and actually until I get it running. When it runs and everything, then I'll put it on because it just gets in the way. Alright, I whipped up a little tab right there out of some 22 gauge steel. I keep a bunch of small scraps in this bottom drawer for just this kind of thing, little tiny, you know, like brackets and stuff. And then I have all my bigger pieces of metal over here, medium sized metal. Alright guys, little update here. I haven't touched the truck in 2 weeks. I wrote up a list of all the things I need to do. Today I'm just tinkering around. I'm getting the radiator hoses on. I got the lower one on. You can see right there. Got this assortment of hose clamps here. There's my hoses. There we go. I got the radiator hoses on. Kind of dark in here. I got that done. Now I gotta figure out the fan shroud, but there's one thing off the list. I didn't do any filming yesterday, but I got a lot done. I installed my fan shroud. I built this mount right here. See right here, this mount, and it bolts on right there. Bolts to there. I have to zip tie the bottom of it so it doesn't kick out. But it's on there really good, the top anyways. Once I zip tie the bottom, it won't move around. I just had to trim it up a little bit. If you look down here, kind of dark. Let me get some light. You can see that I trimmed a little bit of that lower shroud to clear that pulley. It comes up really nice. We got good clearance. Still haven't figured out what I'm gonna do for an intake. Limited room there, but if I get a nice tight 90-degree elbow, rubber elbow, I should be able to have room to bring it over this way. It can't go the other way, there's no room. So it's got to come this way and over the alternator as tight as I can so it'll fit under the hood. It'll be interesting to try to figure that out. And then I want it to come down here in this corner. Cold air intake. Probably just get a cheap one off of eBay. There's really nothing to them, just rubber elbows, tubing, and a filter. Here's the view from the bottom. There's the shroud. There's the core support. I already have 2 holes right here. I'm gonna drill 2 holes right there and there so I can put a zip tie through the hole that's on the core support and zip tie the bottom nice and secure. I also pulled the bed off last night. Got that out of the way. It's over there. I pulled that off because there's a lot I need to do under here. I gotta put a gas tank in somewhere, probably right here. Probably get one out of like a early 2000s Camaro. Seems like people use those ones. Seem to fit between the narrow frame rails on these old trucks. I was thinking about making a later model truck one work, but there's just not enough room. So it's nice to have the bed out of the way here. Also got to build exhaust, drive shaft. Of course I'm not going to do that myself. I'll have a shop cut and re-weld shorten the drive shaft. I don't really know how much they charge for something like that, but all they gotta do is take a couple inches out. And probably gotta change out this rear end. This thing is just big and clunky and 411 gears. It's just geared too low for my likings. I don't really do much hauling with this truck. I'd like to go down to like 340 somethings maybe. It's gonna be difficult because anything that low, or that, I should say that high, anything geared that high is probably gonna have 5 or 6 lugs, and then I'll have 5 or 6 lugs in the back and 8 lug up front, but we'll see. First I just want to get a drive shaft on and test drive it around the driveway. Not going to worry about it right now. And I just picked up K&N oil filter. It's like the most expensive filter you can buy. It's like $18 compared to all the other filters. But this is, according to the internet, this is supposed to be the best filter you can put on a 5.3. It's an HP 1007. I got this from the junkyard out of a later model Chevy truck with an LS in it. I was hoping to make that work, but I don't know. It's got to be flat here because of the hood. I really like the looks of it, but I'm not sure how I'm going to make it work. We'll see. Alright, you can see there I screwed the oil filter on, but I just put it on temporarily because I don't have any oil yet to fill it with. And I also put a zip tie right there. I also picked up this dipstick at the junkyard, so that's good. This is a really bad design. It just has some spot welds right there. It's very weak, so what I'm gonna do is put a couple more welds on there. Alright, I just stuck the modulator on there. Alright, this is another thing I picked up at the junkyard when I was over there. This nice piece of sheet metal. I think it's like 16 gauge or something. I just cut out this piece here. This is going to be my my gauge panel. It's going to have the oil pressure, temperature, the battery, transmission pressure, and tack. Not in that order though. I was just shooting them off the top of my head. But anyway, I cut out all these little pieces here. There's 4 of them. One will go there, one will go here, and so forth. And then there'll be a hole through it, and there'll be 4 bolts to mount it to the dash. And then on the ends, gonna have this just to make it look nice. It'll kind of hide maybe some of the wiring running up into the dash, and it'll also make it really strong. I'm gonna install my dipstick. See, I welded, or tack welded anyways, that thing, that hold down on there, because it's really not attached very well. So, and it's a lot stronger now, and I painted it. And I put a new O-ring on there because these are known for leaking. Well, there we go. Engine oil, transmission oil. Getting real close. Almost ready to put fluids in this thing. There we go. Gauge panel all made. Looks good and strong. Well, today is Sunday, back home from church. Tinkering around with this thing a little bit. Working on the vacuum line for the transmission modulator. The fitting on the intake is this size, and of course the modulator itself on the Turbo 400 is smaller size like this. So I put a adapter thingy on there. I know it's not the prettiest thing, but it's not going to leak, and I put some hose clamps on there just in case, because this is behind the engine, kind of hard to get to, and I really don't want these coming apart. So I just clamped them down good, and that'll go on the intake. Then I'll run this down and cut it where I need it to be. There you can see there's the vacuum line. Runs down along. I just zip tied it to the dipstick. Keep it out of the way from just flopping around.